I knew that retail media was going to be this mega digital advertising industry. And I knew that Amazon was also really big already and that people didn't realize that. So in my mind, I like to say I think in area charts. And so in my mind, I just had this area chart where you had the growth of search, which Google dominated. You had then layering on top of that, the growth of social with Facebook driving that, and then the growth of retail media with Amazon driving that. And so I had this image in my mind, and when I laid it, I had to do a lot of calculations. I actually called on my friends from eMarketer and said, "Can you get me all this data so that I can build out this chart that I need to build?" And they sent it to me. I spent some time in Excel, and I laid out the chart, and it was almost exactly as I had envisioned. Now, I will say in the early days of the chart, the third wave was not that big of a wave. It was still modest, but you could kind of see the direction of it. What's been interesting is with each successive year, it's grown so much more and so much more that now that third wave looks very similar to the first two waves.
And did you you had expectations that it's gonna be so important? Because every time I present anything about retail media and I bring this third wave graphics, I play a joke that I say, having this graphic is going to a retail media keynote or presentation and not seeing this graphic is just going to Taylor Swift show and not listening to Shake It Off.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's been so foundational, and it's been great to build a lot of my thought leadership off of it. I've also realized that there are so many more interesting insights to share and stories to tell that I actually challenge myself in most cases. Can I do a presentation without including that chart? Or I can't just show the same old chart. So I've now come up with different iterations of it that try and tell a new story within that chart, because you have to always be evolving what you're talking about, or it does get stale, right? There's some value to repetition, especially if you're bringing along people who are new to the space. So I always think about my audience first. But yeah, there's so much more to it, and so many sub layers contained within that chart.